by playing it, this is what they want TI10 on. Something you gotta be afraid of. Do you have the confidence for Gaming Gladiators to leave in the pool? That's what I'm mainly looking for in this series.
Might be problem to stop I'm pushing that fresh styles. Might be problem to stop Gaming Gladiators like pressure. In terms of like Gaming Gladiators carrying on. Applying a lot of pressure on all stages of the game, especially starting from early.
So does that mean what angle could Team Spirit take trying to now counter Team Spirit long skip the Weaver support lane or like
if we come up with some ideas on how to stop it?
In reality, is that possible?
Yeah, I think Team Spirit, they have a lot of info in Gaming Gladiators. They watch so many of the games, they have a lot of data there. I think honestly going into the best of 5, you have a lot of games, you have some room for not experimentation, but to test your limits. I think they should sort of try to pick a Gaming Gladiator strategy that they want to play against. Versus Edge, Chen, Pangolier, Necro, they should try to break that early in the best of 5. I think that's what gives them the best shot of like sort of getting a draft advantage in the series.
There's definitely threat to kill him. Weaver doesn't have problems like CSing because you have the Gymnade attack, you also have like a Sakuchi, you're going to get CSing just fine against the Lone Druid.
Do you think that's an angle to try to target what Gaming Gladiators have been running?
I would really like that. I think Poposhko was actually the first player to start playing it. I think he was playing a bit before Riyadh in pubs, and they even ran a couple of officials. They actually go with the Weaver, which, I mean, it's a bit flexible, but honestly, I'm a bit surprised. I thought...
Do you think that's an angle to try to target what Gaming Gladiators have been running?
I would really like that. I think Poposhko was actually the first player to start playing it. I think
something they talk a lot about is like keeping the formation, and when you play Dota in that style, the enemy tends to, you know, you try to burst one guy, they save him, and then you run out of damage, you don't have enough to keep going. But Beastmaster sort of like one of those unlimited damage heroes. You can keep the fight going, keep throwing these axes, your damage keeps ramping up, you're summoned. There's also like sort of a classic counter to Silencer, just because something they talk a lot about is like keeping the formation, and when you play Dota in that style, the enemy tends to, you know, you try to burst one guy, they save him, and then you run out of damage, you don't have enough to keep going. But Beastmaster sort of like one of those unlimited damage heroes. You can keep the fight going, keep throwing these axes, your damage keeps ramping up, you're summoned.
I feel like part of the Silencer pick here was a protection pick, so to speak, against a potential Phoenix coming out when they picked it on Gamin.
It's hard to say, because like, yeah, you can silence them, but at the same time, you could buy ways to get out of it, and you don't have a good way to kill Egg, because Pango's just rolling, he can't attack. Lone Druid Bear is ineffective versus the Egg. Morta can sort of do it, but... So, I don't think they have enough, but they're going to leave it anyway, so we'll see what Team Spirit wants to pick up here.
I feel like Team Spirit need a partner for Park to make some plays on the map, because with Trent it's going to be complicated and they will need something to be happening for sure. Maybe we don't need to do anything and Gladiators is just going to run at them and we're going to just take
Skyraf maybe? I can see Skyraf working. I think the #1 priority for Team Spirit right now is making sure the Beastmaster is a good lane. If Beastmaster does not have a good lane against Silencer, then oftentimes it can be hard to fight into, especially versus Pangolier, another matchup where, yes, you can roll his roll, but if you cannot like burst him in that, then Pangolier becomes very good against Beastmaster in the fights. So I think the lane comes first, and then they can look at options after that.
Yeah, for sure. We're aiming some good carries against Beastmaster right now too, like with Bunter, but this looks interesting.
I guess we'll see if the Weaver will be on that position 4 or not here, if they're going to go for a carry, because that option does still exist if they want to go in.
I wouldn't mind the Weaver carry at all. I think the lane would be pretty strong for Silencer. Weaver doesn't have to like commit. I mean, I think it might depend what carry they're predicting Gladiators to pick, but I'm just not too sure like what carry they're looking at. Honestly, in my head, I'm like some Drow Ranger, but back row is not very strong right now. I just see Yatoro, you know, and I'm like, oh, TI, Yatoro, Drow Ranger, it might come back.
I guess we'll see if the Weaver will be on that position 4 or not here. Nobody's been picking that hero though, right? But it is a really good game for it. It's super good for Spango. It's so annoying for Lone Druid.
I feel like it's probably not good enough of a hero, but if they were picking new carry, like I want something like that with really high damage.
Oh, awesome.
Okay. Is this,
I think they're just punishing the Silencer, right?
So, on Team Spirit, I think they've been playing Naposhka on the Tusk more so than Mira, if I'm not mistaken. Is there a world that this is a 4 Treant, or do you think you just have to put the Tusk 4 here with Beastmaster? And how good is that lane against what you're supposedly facing here, especially considering it's a blind carry so far?
I mean, I wouldn't mind the Treant 4. I think, like, honestly, committing really hard into the Beastmaster's lane, making sure he secures it and can take over the game is a good idea. But I think, Weaver.
That's an old Weaver.
Really good versus Beastmaster too.
Yeah.
His summons just die, the Hawk is free gold in the XP.
Double melee versus double range. That's scary.
Don't you guys just love when you go into the finals and there's like multiple heroes that you haven't seen for a week that come out in the very first game? Amazing stuff. So yeah, Beast and Gyro. Dare I say it's their first appearances on the main stage? I think so.
Probably haven't seen Gyro on the main stage since TI5.
He's back. Awesome. What do you guys make of this overall? Like, do you feel like there's any sort of advantage that you can infer from specific lanes, or what you've seen from the team so far in the tournament that makes you lean one way or the other?
I think this game's going to be completely decided in Spirit safe lane. Like, I think they picked this Weaver and Treant just to be strong, and Lone Druid is honestly sort of the same. Like, this hero really wants to win his lane. Depending on which way that lane goes, I think he'll determine the tempo for the post lane phase.
I also feel the same about Gamin Gladiators safe lane as well. If it doesn't go well and Gyro doesn't have a good laning stage, and Collapse can manage to get kills with Mira, that could change Spirit's momentum a lot with this beast.
Yeah, very depending on lanes right now. How the lanes go will decide a lot in this game.
How's the mid lane matchup going to go, Dendy?
To me, it's maybe a little bit favorable for Pango, but it's still a pretty good game for Puck. But it's pretty risky in my eyes to pick Puck so early. Like, usually you want to see more heroes. There's still 2 silences, so you want to buy a defensive item, which slows down other like aggressive items that you might go for. So yeah, a bit scary for Puck.
Yeah, honestly, I'm really worried for a lot of this game. I feel like the ganks from Tofu can come in. Lone Druid's a hero, he can just pull away with his bear. You can sort of leave him alone. And hopefully, like, that's why I feel like if they don't win the Yotaro Matosha lane, it's going to like bleed really hard into mid. They can't keep the Mortar there.
What do you guys make of the Tusk here that Spirit ended up going for into Silencer, who's notoriously a really good anti-save hero, and a big part of the Tusk is saving allies with Snowball? Do you think that's maybe a little bit on the risky side, or?
I think he wants to kill the Silencer.
Yeah,
I think this is a hero that can just like get on him and kill him right away. It's going to be more of an aggressive Tusk game instead of a defensive one.
Yeah, for sure, we're gonna double jump with Puck. That's where it's gonna be their target number 1.
All right, thank you guys very much for your insights. We are ready to get into the game, but before that, we're going to a coach's interview with Silent from Team Spirit.
Arranca partido.
Just like get on him and kill him right away. It's going to be more of an aggressive Tusk game instead of a defensive one.
Тише, мальчик, тише, мальчик.
All right, thank you guys very much for your insights. We are ready to get into the game, but before that, we're going to a coach's interview with Silent from Team Spirit.
Тише, мальчик, тише, мальчик.
30 seconds to battle, but feel free to start killing before that. We're not sticklers.
That's right, it's time to make our grand finals head underway. On one side, we have a team that is absolutely the best team of the year, but on the other side, the strongest team of the tournament. On one side, we have 3-time major winners, and on the other side, TI winners. But only one can claim the Aegis.
I've seen a lot of TIs, Cap. We are going back 12 editions of this right now. We have seen lower bracket runs, we've seen upper bracket runs, we have seen First Bloods, we have seen Roshans, but one thing is absolutely clear to me right now at TI12, in the heart of Dota in Seattle, these two teams are undoubtedly the best 2 teams in the world right now, and both of them are absolutely terrifying.
And that's exactly why Gamin Gladiators stacked the bounty runes, but they failed to be able to claim the First Blood. They wanted to be able to get that early momentum over a team that is so scary. I mean, Team Spirit has demolished every team that has stood in their way. Gamin Gladiators, though, have had to make the long run through the lower bracket, and there's something special about that lower bracket momentum.
You cannot underestimate how much this team has gone through, especially going to their 4th Valve Event Grand Final of the year. No team has made a complete sweep, and usually the team that is favored in that sense can't even make that type of run, so this team cannot be underestimated. At the same time, all of us here watching, when you see Yotaro come out of that player walkway with a shaved head, the amount of fear that instills into you, the amount this man is willing to sacrifice to claim a second Aegis and join that limited pantheon of 2-time TI winners. you can't not help but be a little afraid of what he's willing to do here. In a best of 5, both these teams are capable of anything. The greatest question, however, if you've watched this lower bracket run from Gamin, is can Team Spirit put a stop to the speed and the tempo in which they are playing these games? Because right now, nobody across all of those series has been able to do it. Now, a lot of these games have not gone past the 25-minute mark, so you need to slow it down, you need to play your game, or at least take it back to them. And if there is one team in the world that can accomplish that, it is Team Spirit, who have shown that they are no slouches when it comes to the first 10 minutes, particularly the laning phase.
Yes, this laning phase is going to be the ultimate test for this best of 5. It's going to be a long journey to get through this finals, and who walks away winning this laning phase could just end up winning the entire thing. It's Maposhka will end up going down. Tofu finally claims first blood for Gaming Gladiators.
And this is a familiar story. Acceleration for Ace on the off-lane lone Drew. This is a hero that has demolished the lower bracket along with all the buildings in those series. A scary hero to give a lead off to here, especially when once more Gamin have a lot of tempo that can just go with Ace, go through these objectives, play with that Bear's timings. But I like what Spirit has brought out here in game 1, right? These are a lot of heroes that are not afraid to skirmish early and throw right back to you.
Against Tofu, will end up hoping to get the kill onto Tofu, but will end up falling into the end. And Ace is gladly going to be able to dive a bit more onto Maposhka. They're definitely winning this lane. They're walking away with it a bit.
And that's going to be fast over the corrosion for the Bear. That's going to give him a lot of chase down potential in this lane.
He's still going to find it. Maposhka, he has that extra little bit of field. He'll end up dying the Bear. That's going to be 300 gold over to Yatoro, but Ace can keep up that pressure with a fresh resub.
Big turnaround for Yatoro, honestly. This lane was looking a little grim. You get Ace to that fast over corrosion, which is just taking over a lot of these lanes. All of a sudden, you get a Bear kill back. A lot of golden XP for Yatoro. He can start to regain momentum in this lane. This is a very strong lane for Team Spirit. Tree Weaver. There's not much that beats this, so this just shows how strong this offlane is for Gamin as well. They're
would be such a massive win if they could actually bring down Ace, but Yatoro's going to have to try and go for Tofu instead, who gave up his own life to be able to kill the bug on Ace to protect his core. He does die, but if Yatoro gets caught by an entangle here, it's going to be a heavy punish, but not afraid, turns around, battles back against that Bear, knowing Ace still has some time before he has another resummon available.
A lot of gold going to Yatoro here as he takes a net worth lead. Good sign for Team Spirit is, I mean, Weaver has to be one of the fastest carries in this meta. I think CK is the other one that I point to. Of course, Bristleback, he's a pseudo carry getting banned out. This is a hero that Team Spirit first picked for a reason. If they get him to a good position, he can go and defend all these towers. You can take every single fight with this carry hero, try and match Duracio's pace, where I almost feel like it doesn't matter what hero Duracio is playing. This guy is going to run at you. He's going to join all the skirmishes with Quinn. You have to be ready for the 5-man collapse at a certain point. Either get some trades, be ready to defend them with the towers. The Beastmaster can trade on the map. That's another objective that Team Spirit can look for as this game progresses.
I feel like out of all the players on Gaming Gladiators, it's definitely Duracio.
That's a resummon.
Yeah, it is. Ace, he'll lose yet another Bear. Yatoro's just climbing up the network chart now. A laning phase that started off a bit bad for them, but now they've got a full 20-second window with no Bear, so they should easily be able to get most of the CS. And also the bounty. Man, he is sitting at 3K net worth already, way ahead of anybody else in this game.
It adds up real fast. These Bears are worth a lot. It's also extra damage going into Ace. You're not healing while the Bear's on cooldown. There's a lot going wrong in this offlane for Gamin right now for the hero that's supposed to give him that lead. At least comparatively to those other games, right? This is still a very even game, but if you watched any of these series yesterday, particularly the Azure one, I guess if you're not down 5K at the 5-minute mark, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, seriously, you cannot let Gaming Gladiators run away with the laning phase. And that, when we were talking about it backstage, and so many other people that we talked to backstage, everybody would say, Team Spirit is not going to get run over the laning phase. Don't let that happen. You can make these kind of rotations. Pick up on the snowball. They have 3 heroes all bang onto this Jarcopter, but it's not quite good enough. Tofu protecting them nicely. They get some damage in return, but Team Spirit is going to remain relatively healthy.
Nice missile dodge on the snowball. Mira, he's going to be able to make some really nice plays this game. This Tusk is a hero that can not only give him the physical burst to go through the Bear at the later stages, but the snowball dodge on heroes like Gyro and Pango that have to throw out their spells at the start of a fight. It can get you your core BKBs off, it can stall out the fight, get you a roar off of collapse coming back out of it. Something that could be really instrumental as this game progresses here. Once more, Spirit making the first move through. Maposhka has been really active in this laning phase, trying to skew it as much as possible to Team Spirit's advantage. She's in that breathing room. And of course, this is a true protector lineup. We're talking about these objectives. Something Gaming's focused on. You can keep your towers up. Living armor.
The double slows are going to help here. And Quinn's going to come back into this play. Sees an opportunity, but so is Wall. The two supports are already dead, though. And there's no way for this puck to change the matchup now.
+2 int on the board for Celery. Glave's already getting some extra work done. We'll leave solo lanes on these sides, so Yatoro going to try and make the most of it. He gets rooted. Oh, you know he wanted another bear kill on this lane, man. He has been taking it to ace. Level advantage already going Yatoro's way. It looks like it'll just be the Dragon Lance, so defensive oriented builder. Yatoro get the high HP up. Don't get bursted in this game. Man, he is chunking ace down. This is a roam opportunity up here, right? Like, this is a great hero for Team Spirit to roam on. You can keep chipping Ace's HP pool, because every time you kill this bear, he has to leave something. He's susceptible again, and you don't really take the ult too early.
Laurel, he's going to try and bait it out here by using the illusion rune. The first power rune was an illusion rune. Not necessarily one that you feel the best about, but he's going to try and bait it out by showing his illusion mid and seeing if they can catch something in this top lane. Tofu, he's going to be marked there. Couldn't get there in time to snag away the wisdom rune, but they can get this one kill. Ace is around. Laurel, he'll back away. So will Ace. He's ready for the push that's coming in. In fact, he knows he's kind of surrounded by heroes, so he wants to play defensively. But Laurel already back to the mid lane, doesn't want to miss out on too much of his CS.
They said the smoke by Spirit. They are a team that will happily smoke to any of these wisdom runes, and if you studied them, you know it's coming. The 7, the 14, the 21 especially is one of the big power moves. They really want this XP advantage, and again, rotating to Ace's lane, I think, is a recipe for success. The other move you're going to make is to collapse when that helm is up to try and push the tower or kick Dyrachyo out of the lane. But I feel like every time you make one of these aggressive moves on Gamin in the early game, you're pretty happy with it, right? Because it means they're not going to Ace, they're not pushing your tower, and then things like this can start to happen where another kill for Yatoro. He is absolutely out of control.
Oh, and their carry's going to be in trouble as well. Both fours in big trouble here on the side of Gamin Gladiators, and no TP rotations coming in. So they're just going to run down Dyrachyo. Do they dive the tower, though? It's a bit scary, and they've run out of resources. So Dyrachyo lives, but only on the sliver of HP, and it's not doing him much good either. He's going to have to make a run back to the fountain, very likely.
You can see the side lane pressure here. This is another thing that's causing Gamin some issues right now because they want to rotate towards mid, play around Quinn. So every time you bring supports off the side lane, it's up to Spirit to recreate the pressure there and not let Quinn get away with these skirmishes with the power room. However, Gaming rotating supports mid will secure that power room for Quinn. Now it's a question of what he can do with it here. Can you rotate into Yatoro's lane? Is Weaver killable in the very early game? Calling plus some roots is doable. Back, they're just going to bring everybody up here. Try and go on Ace again. This is when the lone druid is susceptible.
Perfect opportunity with the bear now being put on cooldown. They have done serious damage to Ace, killing him so many times, and even maybe catching Tofu here. Selly's going to try and slow him down, but that's two supports without a real stun. They're just going to back away, though. Bottom lane, that was the rotation coming out from Quinn. Mira left a bit alone here as the Beastmaster went for the Lotus instead. Good separation there with Shard, and Quinn just doesn't feel like siding CP.
This is the helm coming out finished for collapse. So now you have a second pressure point on the map with your Team Spirit. You've gone through this early game in a pretty decent spot. Yatoro well ahead of the pack. So if he wants to rotate, play with collapse, start pushing some of these towers, you can start to take Gaming's game plan against them here. As they are still struggling to keep Ace in that offlane. This bear has just been exploited in the early game. So much extra gold and XP.
Gets back to the safety of the trees. Gaming Gladiators here in force, but fortunately the Pango versus the Beastmaster doesn't necessarily leave you the most options. Can't really put to use that Rolling Thunder super well. He's going to try for it anyway, perhaps. Going to voice out the Primal Roar. Collapse now going to try and back away with that extra bit of movement speed. Does get hit by the Dark Hunter ultimate. That's going to slow him down enough. Good snowball pickup from Mira. That buys him a couple seconds, but Quinn is going to follow that ball. He is perfectly going to be able to hit him both. The Swashbuckler lays enough, though. And Dyrachyo and Quinn are now in trouble. Caught by the coil. Laurel going to lock him down, and there's not much these supports can do to stop it. In fact, they're just going to feed right alongside the other two of Gaming Gladiators as Team Spirit in a 5-man move sweep over Gaming Gladiators, run them down underneath their towers, and even through the portal, Tofu be denied that exit. Instead, he'll head back to the fountain after a triple kill for Yatoro.
And Yatoro straight back to the top lane, doesn't miss a beat. The downside of all that off lane going wrong for Gaming is Ace didn't even have a bear during all that, so you cannot bring the numbers to that fight. Just an overextension on collapse that Yatoro is happy to join. He gets a big storm turnaround kill. Of course, Law with a beautiful coil just locked him in place. let the Weaver do the damage here. This is very deep.
Yeah, this
it feels like a forced play. Yeah, forced play, if anything, right? And you know the snowball save is going to come out here. This is what I'm saying. You disjoint the missile, you disjoint some of the gyro damage. That turnaround is deadly. Treant's going to give you some stain to just push through a lot of this poke damage. You're also missing the support ults. Orta and Silencer are not too strong.
Oh, got to put a silence on it. If they can keep him in place, the dead shot moves it back in. They have to use the global, but it will get the job done. A huge kill streak going the way of Ace. His network just shot right back up as he got 587 gold for just himself off that kill.
I mean, we're 11 minutes in the game, and Yatoro already had a 6x streak. So Ace absolutely happy to pick that up. That's the power of the global versus the Weaver before he has any sort of dispel item, which looks like it's going to become very late in this game as Yatoro opted for a Death build-up. Another reason that kill was pretty valuable, right? You slow down the Death Zone, limit the charges you get in these early exchanges. The slower it is, the worse it's going to be. This pace is very strong right now. Of course, Dyrachyo, we have not seen gyro too much this tournament, but the big upside for this hero is the stacking, right? Not something we've seen Gamin go back to a lot as the game's been very fast, but this triangle is getting stacked and is waiting for gyro to come and collect. Other Ancients are also doubled up right now. This is a lot of golden XP sitting in the bank for Gamin if they can move Dyrachyo over there, start to clear through with the max flat cannon. Something that Team Spirit might think about contesting depending on how fast they can push these towers down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that in this game, it's funny, but I feel like the game plan is kind of swamped where Team Spirit want to be able to run over Gamin Gladiators, take these outer towers so they can disrupt that ancient farming, and they're going to go straight to it. No hesitancy whatsoever. Immediate win, but they don't really have the strength to be able to bring it down just yet. Protected by all of Gamin Gladiators, who, again, they saw Team Spirit in the bottom lane show up as 5. They will do the same here in the mid lane. Quinn looks to find his mark, looks to see if he can drive right on through and straight to Maposhka. He'll find him here in the corner, clear out most of the trees, but Laro's actually going to bounce back in here. He had an opportunity, but Maposhka's going to stand and fight as best he can, but it's off Ace immediately. Laro's trying to make his way out. Oh, the silence, maybe he gets clipped again. He's dead. Couldn't jump to his orb in time. Yeah, they get Ace, but it does cost them quite a bit as Laurel was a big piece of the momentum for Team Spirit here.
Tofu coming up big. Calling is just going to be the biggest way to deal with Puck in these team fights. If you can land it, it's probably a dead Puck. You dead Sean back into it. It's an extended duration here. Once more, that fight got dragged out. Really nice disengage from Spirit to draw them back up the ramp, waste this Rolling Thunder, chasing Maposhka on the cliff. Yatoro gets another pretty good angle. You can see the aggressive not playing defense at all. And once more, the aggression continues. No Rolling Thunder for Quinn right here.
Bubble down to try and protect him. Another swashbuckle up in a second. He's actually going to try and fight as best as possible, but the puck is going to be the end of Quinn. I thought he was going to swashbuckle down and away from the trees. Maybe that was an error.
This is looking all Spirit in this first 50 minutes here. They're getting a lot for their beast, the start for Yatoro, and now it's just going to have to come back down to the Black Cannon, clearing through the Ancients, to the Rock in the spot where he can start to take these fights. This is a position we... Very strong lead going into 15-20 mid-game period. All of a sudden they're on the back foot. The damage definitely going to help accelerate the Rockio here. We talked about the resiliency of this team, right? There's a reason they're here in this grand finals. There's a reason they've been in a lot of them, too. This is not a team that can only play from ahead. They're going to have to show some resiliency here and playing a little bit from behind, particularly with, I mean, maybe Ace's time to off. He's got a lot given the start. Surprised at how rich he is.
Yeah, he's got 3 deaths. I think his bear has died like 5 different times in this game, but still second in the network chart. Still though, Spirit clearly holding the tempo control of this game. They're up by 3K. They've got to be feeling pretty good about it. Even if they couldn't stop the gyrocopter from clearing out stacks, they don't have to do it the first time around. Just taking these outer towers and trying to scrunch in the map a little bit.
Yeah, take advantage of the fact that Dyrachyo is not ready. And it is dead even. And that would have been my prediction before this series as well.
Goes to show.
I mean, respecting the Ace timing as well, too.
Yes.
Like, this Radiance on the Bear, we have seen them do an incredible amount of work with it, and it's coming soon.
I think Team Spirit really want to finish off this mid-tower before those timings reach the Aghanim Scepter on Dyrachyo, the Radiance on Ace here.
And these are acceleration items. That's the thing. If you give Gamin time to get to the big farm items in the Radiance and the Aghanim Scepter on Dyrachyo, those items let you fight, but they also let you just clear the map. So holding these power-ups, if you can limit the space they can use these farming items on in terms of the size of the map, that's going to feel really nice with this Tree Protector lineup. Naposhka did not go for living armor points early, hasn't even needed them at this point. And all 3 tier 1s are up. Another
Bottom lane,
play.
Tofu with the calling, trying to protect Mira just outside of that silence. Use the snowball, trying to get some distance. Nice dead shot though. Actually hit Lal in the background.
Yeah, but the exchange on the other side of the map, Ace going down to Yatoro again with this Desolator. Instant reveal, gets 2 charges on it, plus a bear kill as he was just pushing towards that Radiance. 700 off. And this tower dies. This is an influential tower for what Gamin want to do on the map, because now both Ancients are exposed and Yatoro straight in there. He would have liked to have found that stack, but he will be happy to take the net worth away from Dyrachyo, a hero that just needs these camps up.
You're going to have to need a bit of a backup plan if you're Gamin Gladiators. You no longer have that good control over the double Ancient stacks like you're talking about.
Look at this fast shard for Yatoro too.
Yeah.
This is where Weaver's is absolutely terrifying. You're getting the extra Gemini hit off the Sakuchi going through everybody with an early Desolator. These heroes just don't have the armor to deal with this right now.
Now,
You don't burst it.
He wants to play super aggressive and like get on top of people, which against these kind of silences could play against them. That's why it's very important for them to get this Aegis, get this second line to give some time to get the BKB up on Yatoro so he can't get punished just yet.
I mean, this man has absolutely no chill. He's not here to win an Aegis. He's here to take it away from you. Right now, he is controlling the tempo of this game. Force Gamin into a smoke that deals nothing right there. Nowhere here in time, and still missing those big core items to take the fight anyway. You're still 300 gold off this Radiance for Ace. That's your big 5v5 timing. Just an awkward point. Yatoro playing this game way too fast right now, and the Beastmaster from Collapse speeding everything up. Helm of the Overlord is already done, by the way, so this map pressure is going to escalate.
Gamin Gladiators really not able to do much besides just kind of make sure Dyrachyo doesn't get smoke ganked. Playing around him heavily. Here comes the pressure from Team Spirit though.
Radiant's done. This is a good point to get it done if you want to defend this tier 1 mid.
A really fast time lapse there. You could realize Yatoro, I think, felt like he was overextended there. He gets caught once by the silences. There's chances he just dies behind the tower, and then that Aegis may be useless. He may just die twice in a row.
That's why the build's starting to come together for the Aegis play, because Yatoro still doesn't have a defensive item. The Global's still very effective here against Spirit. Laurel also considering a BKB this game on Puck early just to deal with the calling and the global silence that's coming out. You even have a lot of tools to lock down these mobility heroes if they can find them. Right now, Laposhka just doing some scouting. Walks it off.
Laposhka, but there's nowhere for him to really run. He knows it too. He's definitely been caught, but he got some good information that'll lead to the pickoff on Ace. He saw all those heroes and he said, guys, this low druid is alone in the top lane again. Kill him.
The single target physical burst is way too fast for this true form to even be considered in terms of casting it. They just had Ace's number. Radiance reveal down the drain as his timings are going to get prolonged yet again. And why would he just bomb it up? He's not too worried about playing on Gamin's side of the map right now. Just wants to hit his own BKB. It looks like Team Spirit, they're just going to work towards a triple BKB timing eventually. Look towards that second Roshan with it, get the spell and debuff immunity up for the silences that are causing the problems in the fight. Then you're not too worried about anything as Quinn is getting shredded by the death.
Yeah, even if you get out the Rolling Thunder, the physical damage from Yatoro is too much for him to handle. Tofu is kind of desperate, wanted to be able to get that kill on Mira, maybe trying to take away the Aegis, but frankly, he doesn't do nearly enough damage right now to deal with his carry, even on low HP like this. Missed the dead shot on Mira. Phoenix to sidestep that one, and they'll die pretty easily. Yatoro does manage to get off the timeline so barely. Meanwhile, Celery's picked off in mid. Team Spirit, they are absolutely outplaying Gamin Gladiators right now on the map. They just know all these heroes are getting picked apart. There just seems to be no response whatsoever from these Gladiators.
I mean, there's nowhere to run, right? You need to combine the damage here on Gamin to get anything done right now, and instead it's just Team Spirit going on you on multiple lanes so you can't group up. Aegis still up for 2 minutes here. 8 Deso charges already done for Yatoro. He is just slowly claiming your soul. This is going to escalate fast. This is a scaling lineup too with all the auras they can bring to the table. The Storm's going to go through. You have Tusk physical damage to pour in on top of it all. And Crystal is for Yatoro. I mean, how many aggressive items does he need in this game?
I love the fact he's like, yeah, I don't need that BKB yet. Still have the Aegis for another minute and a half. And considering the pace of game right now, it does kind of feel like he's going to get that BKB once the Aegis expires, because this is going to be another team fight and perhaps another objective taken. 21-minute Wisdom Room coming up. Tormentor, the object as well. Silence already going out. They're trying to lock down the sweep. They're trying to stop him from killing anybody. He gets off the time lapse though. Forces a little bit of resources out of Gamin Gladiators and throwing the damn ground ball, looking at that back line.
You got to be careful of giving Duracho good black targets up front, as they're going to trade a bunch of the Bears HP.
They're still looking for Osco over here. They don't have the detection to catch him out.
Something is going wrong with the detection on this tree, and for sure, he's just getting way too much information, way too weak right now. Team Spirit will play it safe, play it slow. Aegis out in 50 seconds, so you have to think about the timer here.
Look at that first damage. Quinn caught by the coil and instantly killed by Yutoro. And you can feel it. Yutoro seeing an opportunity. They're going to be able to cut down Celery. And now he goes into the kill. The Aegis does expire, but the rest of the team provides his enable. Second life comes back up. He's going to shred through Ace. Looks over to Tofu next. Now, last left, perhaps Duraccio trying to run him down. Duraccio doing his best he can, but against 3 different cores, he can't actually fight back. He has fallen away. Oh, missing out on the dead shot. Yutoro is unstoppable. He's just diving in his face like it's nothing.
You just think about it again. 30 HP is the only thing that'll save you from this man right now. He's just running rampages through the fight. 12 and 2 in 22 minutes. He is just taking everything and more. He has the Aura to back him up. His aggressive item build has paid off in spades.
The aggressiveness of Yutoro I've seen in very few players at TI before. I mean, that play when he was forcing gets skewered into the base and then he waveforms deeper into the base. That's the kind of aggression this guy's playing with right now.
You gotta play to win. You play not to lose, it eventually will happen. Right now, Team Spirit just taking over the map. Really good deep wards on those fights. Will get dewarded from Gamin, but that's the power of what Coach is providing them with this tree. All of these fights and pickoffs, they've been scouted. He's been on Gamin's side of the map for a lot of it. Lead off. Large through this early tree and shard. Need some work. Of course, the vision's really nice versus these silencer lineups, because if you're the one initiating on Gaming, forcing out awkward global, making some damage on your backline, the fight gets very weird very fast, and suddenly Yutoro goes in, he kills somebody, time lapses out, there's a black dragon, pours the fire on somebody else. 20 fires to put out quite literally here. Once more, Vaposka just scouting out the moves from Gamin. Gives him all the setup in the world. Just deadly, man. The cores from Spirit are converging on top lane.
Look at Vaposka, man. He doesn't care if he gets caught. As long as he gets information for his team, he knows all 5 heroes of Gamin Gladiators are up here, so Team Spirit are going to slowly approach. They're going to group up together and take this fight.
Yutoro just time-lapse to the fountain and back to get his BKB. He will not have time-lapse for this fight. I don't think this.
Overgoes with the 3-man coil. It's looking beautiful. Yutoro's right in there with his fresh BKB. Delay the damage of these cores. Once again, Ace has no chance with the bear. And of course, the Beastmaster's going to lock down that ball. You're not going anywhere, Quinn. They're going to catch more. Tofu's going to be the last one down. Durachu only survives because of his TP.
Everything coming together. Triple BKB instantly revealed all together on the exact fight Vaposka sets up. It's just beautiful gameplay here from Team Spirit, and Gaming still searching for answers, because the second these fights start, they're already over. They don't even know they're coming. Yep. Yutoro, he does not need ultimate at all to take these engagements when they are completely one-sided. It'll be more objective pushing. This is just a beautiful 4-man overgrowth setup. You cannot ask for anything more. Swarm hits everybody, and then you get to save Roar for the Rolling Thunder after Ace goes down to just right him. Making it look easy out here.
The item timings, the positioning, all of it is just so perfect for Team Spirit.
That's the power of Vision. This is a team that won a TI previously off of Vision advantage, and they're showing why. Beastmaster might have got nerfed in this regard, but Vaposka doing his best Hawk impersonation.
If you want to be worried about the gen of Gaming Gladiators, I think it's the Tree Protector of Team Spirit that may become a problem in this series. Maybe there's just not enough sentries in the world for you to buy to catch this guy.
Me keyboarding it too, that's the problem. They are lacking sentries, they are lacking the detection. No one wants to buy a gem right now, but you don't want to have to buy a gem for a Tree Protector, but we're getting to that point. And every time one of these fights goes wrong, you fall a little bit more behind. I mean, core heroes that don't want to function in these fights from behind, right? Particularly the Gyrocopter. This is a hero you want to accelerate with the triangle, accelerate with the Ancient Camps, put him in a prime position like Luna or something, where he goes in that fight, he's the absolute raid boss. Duracho has escaped these fights, but across his teammates' tombstone says cannot outpick the firepower to match with Team Spirit to bring him with the ball right now. And everything is looking towards this next Roshan, which Team Spirit would be very, very happy to collect and put an Aegis on Yatoro with his aggressive DPS build. Not to mention, I mean Laurel is picking up the speed right. He's just going for the Maelstrom right click tuck. It's also a fearsome late game beast. Especially when you have that Beastmaster Aura pumping in attack speed to everybody on this lineup. You have tag teams above the physical. You're going to have multiple scaling right-click cores here for Team Spirit. You're going to need armor on Gamin at some point. You're going to need survivability. Satanics, AC, anything. Besides you time in this fight.
Gladiators only getting caught there. The overgrowth not quite landing onto Quinn. He'll survive as a result of that. Yatoro still going to have a poke at them, though. Time lapses away before the silencers catch him out. So aggressive, man. He's going to start backing away with the rest of his team. As you said, 19,000 net worth lead. They're very comfortable. It's really just not slipping up at this point in time. That starts with being able to get the second Roshan of the game, and then comes the high ground push, which Gamin Gladiators, I don't know, what do you feel better about, a Roshan contest or a high ground play?
Maybe game 2. High ground play for sure, right? You let him go into you, abuse the fact that they're calling a really strong defensive spell. You catch the tree first, that's a nice pickoff.
And it's actually really nice with the gem on the ground.
Yeah, okay, so you needed a gem in this game, Maposhka will give it to you. That's a big pickup, limits the vision, limit Maposhka's aggressive positioning. That was very deep, right? Especially for Team Spirit looking towards this next Roshan. They have the Beastmaster creep in the pit scouting it out. A rich man's hawk, lack of anything better. Just waiting on their vision.
Sad part for Gamin Gladiators is they can't actually do anything off of that play besides getting a little bit more cards than normal. They'll be able to push out some of the side lanes. I assume they know that Team Spirit's going to be doing Roshan sometime soon. Of course, they're doing it right now, and it happens so quickly. It gives you such a small window if you're Gamin Gladiators to actually be able to contest. So you're right. They're going to play for the high ground. They're going to try and see if they can make Team Spirit slip on that staircase.
The question is, what are they going to get up for that high ground defense, right? It's the Daedalus on Duraggio. That's going to be the big DPS item here. Ace is he's just going great base. He didn't even get to anything else in this time period. It's just going to be armor up, try and survive the initial burst. Now, these Wraith Bands are pretty nice for features minus on the Wraith. So they are very good value. I don't blame him for doing this, but in that other low G game we saw, I mean, he had a full harpoon before he went back to these Wraith Bands, so it tells you how far behind he is off that first 15 minutes. Team Spirit shutting him down right now. The question is, how do you want to go higher? Because there is a calling to fight into, there is a Rolling Thunder that can abuse you on the choke points. There's the Radiant Burn with mid chance and a resummon, assuming it's hard to jump Ace initially. And of course, Global can bail out any sort of initiation from the Tusk or the Beast. See how long Yatoro really feels he is, and he thinks he can just walk up and start hitting this tier 3. Wouldn't surprise me. Maybe that's why he's gone Scotty here. Level 20 done for the Weaver with Scotty completed a double damage room and a quiver.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you get hit once by this Weaver, I think you're gone on the supports.
And that's a huge problem for Duraggio as well, because he doesn't have that Satanic build-up yet. So he doesn't have the sustain to be able to stand toe against the Weaver for too long, Ace.
I don't know if you know what's coming for you right now, but you're not going to like it.
It's going to be a shot to the back of the head. Blown away by Yatoro, and they catch Quinn in the mid lane. They don't need Yatoro to make this kind of play. Laurel activates his BKB to catch the opposing mid laner, and with 2 dead, a double damage activated. Team Spirit's all but just waiting for the creep wave to catch up with them.
Well, that's one way to break that high ground. Just one-shot an enemy offlane carry hero, and force it with a double damage here. Yatoro has AC Aura behind him now as well, so that Deso plus the Swarm plus the AC is just going to amp this physical through the roof right now, which makes this high ground seem a lot more tempting.
Here goes to the jump. BKB immediately activated by Duraggio, but there's that physical damage. Duraggio, he can't actually stand up against Yatoro and has to back away the Yatoro, yeah, he's just going to go for it. See if he can straight and got it! Oh, no way! The final bit of damage required. Yatoro can claim it.
Yatoro, boss. This man knows no fear, no limits right now. He's just taking your base at 30 minutes. A position Gamin is used to putting their opponents in. The news has been full taut here as Team Spirit have just given them nothing of the map, it feels like, for 15-20 minutes. Ace can't even escape the tier 3s right now. You have to take a high ground defense without your carry. Watch another lane disappear. would not be surprised.
How they stop this without Duraccio.
I mean, I think Mira can also jump if he really wants to just force the issue.
Yeah.
Because Tuskar is hella tanky right now. Gossamer Cave Drum, happy to start the engagement, particularly if you can find a good core target. He got feared on the jump. That was incredibly impressive, actually, but it will not yield them the fight. There'll be a second lane.
2 lanes bears up for Team Spirit. And they still have a minute and a half left on that second line. Here the Weaver. That final push, I mean, if you're Team Spirit, you're here playing a full best of 5 against Gamin Gladiators, why not make the first game quick? Just for your own.
A taste of their own medicine. Show that the zoo is indeed not dead. That's the scary part of this game for me. You have Collapse on a hero that, I mean, they have been incredibly proficient with it, right? This was a first phase ban at Riot for a reason. Yeah. It is a Collapse signature hero, but it's not one of those big jump stunners that everybody's afraid of. They're afraid of the Collapse Magnus, the Collapse stunners. This is a hero that just took over the map. He farmed, he played his game with Yatoro, and it was the raw aggression and objective taking for Gaming on the back foot. What a scary thought if Team Spirit are
doing it again, isn't he? Yeah.
Own strat against you, and yeah, time lapse to the base for some Daedalus action. Your own X marks the spot.
So much burst damage when he's got the enchanted quiver on top of that.
This is an insane, like, single hit, right? It doesn't take much. You just Sakuchi's in, hits you instantly, and start to run away. Just get chunked. This is the strength of Weaver right now. 15-2 for Yatoro.
Here, looking for his opening. Gamin Gladiators, it seems pretty clear. They can't take an honest fight against Team Spirit anymore. They're going to have to play around the fountain here. As a jump forward, the green foil is slowly take him out. Tofu does manage to live for now. He's got the enchanted quiver on top of that.
This is an insane, like, single hit, right? It doesn't take much. You just Sakuchi's in.
Weather that storm, and it's possible that Team Spirit may decide to wait for a third road shot before they end it.
Well, I'm happy to give the Aegis up. They'll free up another slot for him at the rate he's going.
Yeah, seriously.
He just wants more damage, more survivability, everything is great for him right now. The scary part is you can still work towards a Tusk Ags in this game. Hero's quite farmed.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about a high ground break mechs. They really get in a stalemate, and he's just going to kick someone out, and you're going straight into them.
TPB, turns around. Oh, man, that damage is just building up so quickly. Quick's got an instant, so it's the Bear. Duraccio battling up against Laurel, but the big bad boss of the fight is definitely Toro. And once he turns his eye on a hero, he disappears. Game over for this one. The Team Spirit making absolutely no qualms about shutting Gamin Gladiators out in their own style. 33 minutes and it's done.
Such a one-sided game one. I mean, nice little bracket run, right? Welcome to the grand finals here. Welcome to the old boss of Dota.